Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Power of Knowing Forums. Join the C Swoop Talks, a LinkedIn live event, episode 180 today. We are discussing on the topic of the role of technology in modern learning and development. To have this topic discussed, we have the honor of Archana Sirohi Dagar, an L&D professional, organization and workforce development, empowering and transformation lives. Also, I, at Archana Empowers is a channel that she's been running and sharing her knowledge. Without further ado, let's bring Archana onto the desk. Hi, Archana.
Hi, Prem. How are
Welcome to
you?
welcome to our podcast. Small intro about you. I'm good. A small about intro about yourself, Archana.
First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for inviting me to be the guest on your podcast. It's an honor to be a part of this amazing platform, and I'm excited to share my thoughts and experiences with your audience. I truly appreciate the opportunity to connect with you and your listeners. So, for start, I would like to say something in my style, which I've
Okay.
been telling people, in my videos and on my channel. Hi, people, how are you? Welcome to Arjuna Empowers. I'm a freelance corporate trainer and learning and development professional with a corporate background of more than a decade now as a soft skill leadership and a personality trainer. I have transformed more than 1,000 lives with some radical mindset impacts. I not only talk about, but I wholeheartedly endorse soft skills because, in my opinion, soft skills are human skills, which plays a significant role in every individual's life. So that's all about me, Prem. Now we can.
Yeah, great, Archana. It is nice to have you. And L&D has been always a fascinating journey. I think every organization needs L&D, and L&D departments cater to the needs of the employees. And that is a primary function where you have skill development done. And it is kind of a brainchild of an organization's growth in terms of technology and the skill sets they want to build up. Now, taking that as an approach, how has the technology reshaped the way you approach learning and development throughout your careers? A standout moment can be a point that you can help us understand, Archana.
Yeah, to commence with this, I would like to bring this up to the people who are watching right now, or maybe later they'll watch, that learning and development is very different from education. People usually, see both the things on the same platform, but actually they are not. L&D is all about enhancing human skills, competencies, and performance in specific area, often within workforce or professional context. Whereas education is about acquiring knowledge, theories, and concept in a well-structured format. So, in order to go deep into the topic, we need to first throw some light on the differences between learning and development and education. And to go on answering the question that how technology reshaped the way how we go about with learning and development, it's that technology has had a transformative impact on learning and development. It has tremendously transformed the way skills are taught, practiced, and retained. So, as a corporate trainer, it has reshaped my approach too, because now we can have it all. And by this, I mean, like now we have personalized learning paths, which enables us to create tailored learning experiences. For example, learning management system is a biggest breakthrough in learning and development. It provides real-time insights into participants' progress, allowing us to adapt content that cater to individual needs or to have a track on career progression, which again helps in performance management. Then again, we have interactive and gamified training tools like Kahoot, Mentimeter, or VR simulation, which makes sessions more engaging and interactive, especially for soft skills and leadership trainings. These tools help participants retain information more effectively than that of traditional methods. Then comes my favorite, which is learning in bit size modules. And I'm a fan of micro learning, and also I'm practicing that. The advent of mobile learning has encouraged us to focus on bite sized modules, actionable lessons, with particularly effective in today's fast paced environment, and which is also very impactful. I'm using platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram for short videos to deliver impactful, bite sized, and just in time learning lessons. Actually, in my opinion, micro learning is something which is completely matching the pace of the world today. It is actually going on with the flow and nature of the learning people are seeking nowadays. Then we have a very significant intervention of technology, and which is also one of my favorite, and which is in very much game now in L&D, and we call it blended learning. This technology has shifted training from purely classroom based models to a blend of in person and virtual sessions, as it is enabling us to have both one-on-one experience as well as giving opportunities to interact with the group of people, and that too having all by sitting in our comfort zone. You got it. Virtual tools like Zoom, Teams, and AI chatbots have made learning accessible and flexible. And also, to put in, last but not the least, the technological intervention in every field helped us to have global collaboration. And you will agree. I guess all will agree. Technology allows us to train diverse teams from across the world, enabling cross cultural knowledge sharing, which has greatly enriched the experience altogether. Imagine having insights from around the world. Sometimes I feel like I want to know something, and then I'll just open LinkedIn, and somewhere or the other I'll get things related to my field. I get connected to people related to my field and get insights. So, the global collaboration platform is an awesome technological intervention that helped in every field, not just in learning and development, but yes, it helped in all the functions and departments of any organizational setup. So, one very interesting experience I'll tell you about. Throughout my journey in learning and development, technology has often been the bridge to overcome challenges and deliver impactful solutions. One instance stand out, a time when I used micro learning as a strategic tool to establish and promote the L&D function in organization where it was newly introduced. The setup was so mass. The setup was massive, with operations spread across North India. And most leaders had little to no knowledge and understanding of what learning and development is. Engaging with every leader individually to explain its purpose would have consumed significant time and resources. But you know what helped me? Micro learning. Instead, what I did was I turned a simple yet powerful tool, which is WhatsApp. And back then, WhatsApp did not had those broadcast channels. It had only the groups we can make.
Yeah.
So what I did was I made that group.
Hmm.
So features like channels and broadcasts, yes, I told you that it was not very much there. So I created a closed group with all functions, heads, and team leads. Through this group, I introduced the concepts of L&D, sharing concise, actionable information in form of quick messages, visuals, and bite-sized content. First, you know what I did? I actually marketed L&D to them.
Hmm.
And then I brought them to the trainings.
Yeah.
So each post were designed to inform, educate, and spark curiosity, whether it was about leadership programs, skill building initiatives, or success stories from other departments. This micro learning approach worked brilliantly there. Leaders began to understand that value of L&D without the need for lengthy meetings or presentation. I don't have to bring, everybody to the room and chat and then started telling them that, see, this is a department and we need to have this department. No, just by bite-sized information I was posting on WhatsApp group to everybody, they gradually came to know about the segment, and they are convinced this is something which is important for the organization, this is something which is important for the workforce, and we need to adhere to the requirements of the segment. So, this experience taught me that micro learning isn't just about delivering small lessons, it's about creating impactful touch points that drives awareness, engagement, and ultimately transformation. Technology, even in its simplest form, has the power to turn challenges into opportunities if we use it wisely.
Hmm.
And that's the beauty of learning. It adapts, it evolves, and transforms, just like the people it's meant to empower.
A lot of information in one single question. I think that's a marathon of data that you have shared over to the audience. I think, see, I just want to add is the point that you said. One standout is people will not buy what you say, and people always take things that they don't know, saying that to bring the moment away out or to move out of that junction, they'll say, I know, I think I understand, and stuff like that. And finally, when you get into the real discussion, that is where you'll find people not understanding what you had told, or the context what you have told is not coming up. That happens in specifically when it is communication skills or any soft skills that you mentioned, right? So most important for the L&D department, what I understood or I take from what you have been saying, is the communication and small bits of information which makes them understand very quickly. That's what I take from what you have been talking over, and giving a lot of information like tool sets and stuff like that that you have been talking about. There are a lot of tools, as you rightly said. There the requirements have to be cleared, and the L&D department, he is gamed in to bring up that requirements which the organization needs to upskill, keep the talent engaged, and make them aware on the latest trends and the knowledges that an L&D can bring in with various programs. Like what you spoke about, micro learning is one amazing thing that is happening over at the moment, and the industry is catching up on micro learning. People don't have
Every
time.
business,
Yeah,
business is
people
running on
don't
micro
have
learning now.
time to watch a 2-minute video, whereas when you give them a snippet of 20 seconds, they're able to
20
catch.
seconds. The attention span, not of children, but adults also, they have also decreased their attention span because of this micro learning.
One
Well,
of the
that is in
podcasts that
another discussion, actually.
One of the podcasts that we did while we were talking on the attention span was that I think what they said is about 18 seconds is the attention span according to Google, which recently had said. And a learning module should be not more than 18 minutes, is what I understand, for the people to look at a concentrated effort. Now, bringing that to our discussion, what is one mistake organizations make when introducing technology into learning and development strategies?
Yeah, coming on to the mistakes which organization makes. Well, in my opinion, that one mistake that organization make in underestimating the importance of it's the importance of change management. Any change in organizational setup, which is like adapting, it needs to be acknowledged from workforce point of view. People need to know beforehand so that they can prepare themselves for any upcoming intervention, whether it is technological or non-technological, or it's a merger or acquisition or anything. So even the most advanced tool can fail if employees and leaders aren't adequately
I
prepared for
think
it.
your point, I'll take one cue here. You
Yeah.
said bringing up things, right? Bringing up an intervention where whether it is technology or non technological stuff. Because Nowadays it is not only specific to technology related people. There are a lot of non-technical people also in the organization who make a lot of things. I think that's the point you are trying to emphasize with some of the tools, right, Archana?
Yeah, there are many tools. That's what I mentioned, that whether it is technological or non technological, whatever it is, we need to adhere it beforehand, before
Yeah,
bringing to the organization, before bringing to the knowledge of people that we are bringing so and so tool, we are bringing so and so people, like
yeah.
CXOs. Also, we need to adhere this. Like we are bringing so and so competencies to our organizations. So if people are prepared, if workforce is well prepared with the change upcoming in the organization, then things becomes more smoother than to make them, to bring them to a shock. Like what
Yeah.
happened? We didn't know that. So even the most advanced tool can fail if employees and leaders aren't adequately prepared for the shift. Many organizations roll out new platforms without addressing the cultural, behavioral, and emotional barriers that naturally accompany change. So there are, resistances which takes place when we do things without proper change management, which can lead to many challenges like resistance to adoption. Sometimes employees and workforce, they may cling to old habits or to avoid engaging with the new system altogether. Then if there is a lack of awareness, then learners might not fully understand the benefit of the technology or how it aligns with their personal and professional growth. Then comes the superficial usage. Without genuine buy in, users may interact with the tools minimally, reducing the overall impact of ROI. There is no point then. So, in order to avoid these mistakes, we need to focus on change management specifically. And what we can do is we can communicate the vision well with the workforce. We can have a clear articulated structure telling them that how the technology is being introduced, and how and what problems and challenges it might address, how it supports both individual and development and organizational growth altogether. Then is engaging stakeholders early with the change, with the intervention, with any intervention. We have to involve employees, managers, and leadership in decision making and implementation process to foster trust, collaboration, and ownership. And one more thing, providing ongoing support while we are, going on with the change. We have to offer practical training, clear documentation, and continuous assistance to ensure users feel confident and navigating the system and maximizing its benefits.
Great insights there. I think value driven way of discussion and bringing details to the organization will embrace L&D function much better, is what I understand from what you are saying. With the adoption of technology, technology is an enabler which can bring in value, is what I understand from what you are saying. How can technology in L&D help leaders become more empathetic and human centric? Because what I see nowadays, Archana, is every corner of discussions that we are going, you're talking about empathy and the human centric values. Because what we see over the period is that we've gone more on technology and we don't value the systems that are there on the empathetic side and the human centric side. So your take on it, Archana?
Yeah, as you said that we value technology more and we are keeping aside human skills. So then there are, system and approaches and technology which are human skills based. So technology in learning and development is not about skills training. It can play a transformative role in shaping leaders to be more empathetic and human centric. And how can we do that? We have tools for it, like self awareness through AI driven feedback, tools like emotional intelligence assessments, 360-degree feedback platforms we have, an AI driven personality test, which help leaders gain insight into their behaviors, communication styles, and impact on others. Also, by reflecting on data driven feedback, leaders can identify areas for growth, fostering greater empathy and awareness of others' needs. Then we have immersive learning experience like virtual reality. Empathy building simulation in VR can place leaders in scenarios where they experience challenges faced by others, such as bias in the workplace or difficulties in frontline roles. Scenario based learning is also one of the important tool which helps leaders in interactive modules, allowing them to practice difficult conversations like delivering constructive feedback or handling sensitive issues in a safe and virtual environment. Then we have then we have a then we have this thing promoting inclusivity through data. Technology can track team management, sentiment analysis, and inclusion metrics. Leaders can use this data to identify areas where individuals feel disengaged or excluded. Promoting timely and empathetic interventions is the key. Then there is one interesting thing which is helping m- leaders to build their impact on people, which is storytelling and perspective building. And this is very much in fashion nowadays, because as we know that we have to be present and we have to capture, the attention of viewers. Then this thing becomes very significant, which is storytelling and perspective building. Platforms like TEDx, work on LinkedIn Learning can share impactful stories and case studies that teach leaders about different perspectives, cultures, and experiences. Storytelling fosters emotional connection and broadens leaders' understanding of their team members' diverse challenges. So technology empowers leader to become more empathetic and human-centric by providing tools that enhances self-awareness, foster understanding, and encourage meaningful action. So by integrating these tools into L&D strategies, organization can shape leaders who are not just effective decision makers, but also compassionate, approachable, and deeply attuned to the human aspect of leadership.
Very, very insightful questions or pointers that you are sharing. What I
I'm
feel,
blending. I'm blending learning with technology.
yeah, because when you club two things, right, it becomes more interesting. And technology today, technology is not that difficult to mold and get things done, which because most of the things you can automate and you can bring lot of things as an added value to people. And this conventional way of bringing the old learning stuff to the latest technology is what I think the AI is bringing up onto the table, right? So I think that is what is the what most unconventional ways have we used technology for learning and development, and what is the impact is what I want to understand from you, Archana.
So you see, now we have this facility of video calling.
Yeah.
So what I've done in one of my previous settings, like I have made a group and I just without informing video called people.
Okay.
And why I did that? Because I want to see their expression, their body language. I want to know how they're feeling, how they're feeling after what I've shared. And
Hmm.
but they become uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
what I find is that video calls are very much uncomfortable for few people, but actually it gives the original expressions and body language. So this was the most unconventional way of technology I've used in my past experience, and it impacted positively.
Hmm.
But for the start, it made people very uncomfortable, but actually, it impacted positively.
No, I think what you said is after the COVID period, I think video calling has become common, right? Across. COVID gave us a big learning, actually, to say is that people could not travel out, but they wanted to see each other and see how they feel, what they could do, and is there anything that they can do. At least seeing and giving some kind of a virtual support, which I think which was not there earlier, because support means a person being right in front of you or next to you is what was the support that we had earlier. And with the technology enabling things, we were able to buy something and send it across to them also while
Yeah.
they were far, right? I
Yeah.
think when we put the video piece to a larger extent, it has been beneficial is what I understand as a communication mode. Now people don't hesitate to come on a video call. Earlier, getting into a video call was like, I'm at home, should I get into a call now? I am not dressed the way. That culture is gone after the COVID period, at least I think. Now the culture is that you're dressed, that's one thing, and you get into a call as simple as, no, no, don't take the other side of what we are talking about when dressed stuff, like. So I am telling the audience, we are saying we have an attire that was fixed for any people who are coming to office. Now people can walk into an office with shorts, a t-shirt and stuff like that. That's become a norm now. And people get into calls and say on a t-shirt that is okay, they talk openly on this one, which was not possible earlier, right? If you
Earlier,
look
yeah.
at video calls used to be very strict in terms of the attire that you wear, how do you present yourself and stuff. Today people are just doing reels on various topics with whatever they have in mind, and they do wonderful things, and they're sharing a lot of knowledge. That's the power of video at the moment today, right?
Hmm.
Now what insights for all professional level freshers, mid-level, c-suite leaders or business owners to upskill and stay competitive in today's scenario, keeping L&D in mind? Any points that you would like to elaborate and give us a insight there, Archana?
Yeah, sure. I would like to put in few points. And also, according to hierarchies, I'll be telling, how they should upskill themselves. Starting with the growth, embracing lifelong learning is once and for all. It's for all the hierarchies. But to start with the growth mindset, seeking learning opportunities beyond formal education, such as online course, certification, and industry webinars, to continuously build foundational knowledge is the key. Focusing on deepening your expertise in your current role while expanding your skill set in emerging areas like digital tools, data analysis, or soft skills like emotional intelligence. Then it comes then it comes to the leaders. Commit to learning about emerging trends, technologies, and leadership strategies that align with long term business growth. Encourage a culture of learning within your organization. The second point I would like to address is leveraging technology for self paced learning. Take advantage of e learning platforms like Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning to upskill at your own pace in areas such as tech skills, communication, and project management. Invest in specialized learning tools like micro learning apps or use AI driven coaching platforms to enhance decision making and leadership skills. Use AI powered platforms and analytics to stay informed on global trends, industry shifts, and leadership insights, and use this knowledge to innovate and guide strategic decisions. My next point comes to focus on adaptability and soft skills. Developing strong communication, problem solving, and emotional intelligence will make you more adaptable to different work environments and challenges. Build skills like negotiation, conflict resolution, and team leadership to prepare for more complex responsibilities and leadership roles. Continuously refining your emotional intelligence, adaptability and vision building skills, led by example in fostering a flexible and empathetic work culture. Stay curious and experiment with technologies. Stay open to experimenting with new tools and technologies, from productivity software to new industry specific tools, to stay ahead of the curve. Take the lead in adopting and mastering emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, or automation that can optimize your workflow and business processes. Constantly explore and evaluate new technologies that can transform operations, customer experiences, and business models. Lead the way in digital transformation within your organization. So, by focusing on continuous learning and leveraging technology, building soft skills, networking, and staying curious, professionals at all the levels can remain competitive in the rapidly evolving network and work environment.
Wonderful, Archana. I think that's a lot of ground that we have covered today on the learning and development piece. And it's see, learning and development is, as you rightly said at the start of the pointer, is it is a journey, right? And it does not start or stop at one stage. The role of technology in modern learning and development keeps changing based on the industry adoption, the technology changing, the way people want to learn, and what is the quick solutions that they look and what can be automated. The what I see on the modern learning is how do we make more time, which is the one thing which is limited to us, which is 24 hours for everybody in the world across, right? There's nothing beyond that you'll get a minute more in anybody's life. What I see is we as humans are thriving to look, taking the role of technology to learn for ourselves, and that learning and development makes us much better, making us more time to spare with the people that are around us is crucial, is what I understand. Any closing statements that you would like to have, tell the audience? We have a great discussion that happened so far on the topic that we have selected on modern learning and development. Your take on the final stance or pointers that before we conclude the session, Asma?
See, if we'll stop learning, we will stop growing. So, no matter you are in what position, no matter you are at what level, once you stop learning, you'll stop growing.
Hmm.
So, and in we are learning in not just learning domain like learning concepts, learning technology, or learning tools and learning methodologies, but anyway we are learning. So why not focusing on skills that will help our career grow? Why not focusing on skills that make us better person? Why not focusing on skills that make us involve more with the group? Why not focusing on skills that makes us better decision makers? You see my point? So why not putting our focus on the skills which makes us more human? As I said, soft skills, I don't endorse soft skill as soft skills. I endorse soft skills as human skills, because
Yeah.
uh, with experience, with time, we come to know that these are the skills which are actually required to go on with the life. Because I might be very much equipped with technology and equipped with tools and data and analysis and models, but still, how will I put those models, how will I put those tools when I am in a setup of a group, when I am in a setup of a team and a leader setup, you know? So then there comes your human skills. And sometimes with the pace of time, with the pace of work, we we sometimes lose our grip on those human skills. Sometimes we get stuck. and
Yeah.
leaders specifically, because they are in so much pressure and stress that sometimes they forget to take a minute decision, and they find themselves, what are we doing?
Hmm.
And
And to
some,
that point, what I would say is leaders are alone on top. Their decisions, their challenges, their pressures are different when you compare to what the down they give it back to you. They have a lot of decisions powers that go beyond looking at the kind of team members whom they are supporting, because as a leader I'll have to thrive the entire organization to perform, and that performance will impact on many things, and they normally look at not concentrating on themselves is what I understand from as being one of the leaders that I've seen the industry, I think. So that's where we also need to upskill is what I'm seeing from your thought process. We
we
also
have
need
to
to take some of
upskill
time.
ourselves throughout our life,
Yes. Yeah.
no matter in technology aspect, no matter in non-technology aspect. We have to upskill, because at start of our career, we are focusing on competencies which are concept based, and which are the expertise we know. And then when we on the leadership positions, then we have people to look after, people to make them work, people. Then we need human skills, and
Yeah.
by the time we forget human skills.
Yeah, I think one more point that I want to add is see, we are getting AI to talk on many of the topics, but we are stop talking to people around next to us. That's the biggest problem that we are facing nowadays, right? So you have all the technology, but a son is not talking to the mother, mother is not talking to a daughter, husband is not talking to a wife. They're being next to each other, they are on their phones, right? So technology has enabled many things, but that human centric thing has to come back is what I understand, and that technology has to be the common things. And you made a very valid point now saying that uh, how that human centric thing is getting missed. Even if you bring AI, a human is needed to bring AI out. So that human centric thing is required, and that culture of being technology, understanding technology, but s- using technology for us to be making things better. I think with that, I think we will conclude this show for the day, Archana. It's been a great talk that we had. The kind of insights on one stretch you have given on each of the topic is immense and impressive, right? Thank you for sharing that kind of a knowledge on the L&D side, which I think I'll take a lot of cues from you. We are streamlining this podcast live from LinkedIn to YouTube and Facebook. Hope you found this discussion valuable, and thank you for joining us on the LinkedIn Live today, Archana. Our next episode would be on the 10th of December, our 181st episode at 6:30 p.m. IST. Looking forward to see you again. Good day. Bye for now, Archana, and all the audience. Thank you for being part of the show.
Before you conclude, I would
Yeah.
like to I would like to give a thankful statement. Thank you once again for the wonderful experience, Prem. I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, and I'm confident our podcast will continue to inspire and empower people. Wishing you continued growth and success on your journey. Keep up the fantastic work. All the best for the future.
Thank you, Archana. Thank you for the wonderful note that you put on the podcast. It gives a lot of importance for us to have this journey done. It kinds of inspires us doing more and more with speakers like you coming into the show and sharing their knowledge. The whole platform was built to look at sharing knowledge, and you great made a great sense to our discussion today. And with this, I would like to conclude the show. Thank you, Archana.
Thank you so much, Prem.